Good morning, everyone. My name is Melvin Williams, and I'm coming to you live from M&N Communications. I wanted to start this morning off by thanking the channel company, and I wanted to talk a little bit about our experience at XChange 2019 in Las Vegas. So let's jump right down into it. And we're going to talk about my experience as an MSP, as a managed solution provider, what we saw, what we learned. So the first takeaway that I had from XChange 2019, and that was the most important thing. The brands, the logos are investing millions of dollars into our ecosystem, building the channel into its legion of followers, into heroes. So once again, the brands are investing millions of dollars into our ecosystem, building up the channel and its legion of followers into heroes. Their primary focus is to educate us on the industry as well as give us sales and marketing material, in itself giving us true insight to make actionable decisions about what is going on in the industry. So myself and many other technology executives went down to Las Vegas, and we all had the same question. How do we capitalize on the millions of dollars being invested into the channel? And I wanted to take this time to pull back the curtain. Business owners need to understand that the goal of all of these major brands like Comcast, Datto, Hewlett Packard, Pax 8, Intermedia, Scale Computing, APC by Schneider Electricity, WatchGuard, WebRoot, ConnectWise, AppRiver, Hewlett Packard Enterprise, Verizon. All of these other brands are investing millions of dollars to teach us how to solve real problems for real businesses. You know, these legions of businesses are trying to find out how to provide a better customer experience. How do we migrate all of this data into this new era of public cloud, private cloud, and a hybrid cloud? Do we choose between Microsoft Azure? Do we choose between AWS? Or do we stick with Google Cloud? And I wanted to take you and tell you that the technology is driving all of these decisions, or the customer experience is driving all of these experiences and all of these choices. So going forward, my experience at the XChange 2019 can be broken down into this. And I'm going to tell you a short story. And the story is going to be about how after those 4 days of learning about technology and how we can differentiate, I got on my flight. And after a long flight from Vegas, the first thing that I saw, the first thing that I learned, and I was able to take what I learned at XChange, and I was able to see real business problems being solved by IoT and a real customer experience being changed. And as I got off my flight and I got on the SEPTA bus, and I noticed these little black devices that the SEPTA conductors were carrying. And I says, what are these conductors? And one conductor responded and he said, these were our keys. And the juices start flowing for those technology executives like me. And I'm thinking about these keys. What are these keys doing? And he said, well, you know, we take credit card payments with these keys as well as open up the doors for the trains. And I said, well, why are you guys taking credit card payments when you guys have all of these kiosks posted up on the walkway of the trains? And they said, well, you know, those kiosk machines don't work all the time. And the light bulb went off. And I said, customers can't access getting their tickets for the train ride. And SEPTA wanted to make the experience more accessible, a better customer experience. So they empowered their employees, their conductors, with mobile devices that gave them the ability to take credit card payments. In itself, the customer experience was made better by implementing infrastructure technology solutions into the infrastructure. And after XChange, I was able to see that practical use. And we can take it even further. So I turned around and I read a sign and it said, follow your train on this application. Download the application. And I started to think about IoT, and I started to think about devices and sensors and having actionable data to make decisions. And then a conductor said to me, well, we've been having some problems with that application. And I started thinking about sensors, and I started thinking about latency. And he said some riders are saying that the train has passed them before it actually shows up on the application. And I thought about that problem of latency and how 5G was going to be changing the landscape of mobility. And I saw actionable problems, and I understood what was going on. And I took all of this information and I was able to extrapolate this after returning from the Channel Company 2019 event. So I wanted to thank all of the vendors who took the time to teach us about actionable insight and how to use it and put it into a practical use. And I wanted to thank those brands for taking the time to invest in the ecosystem and tell us and teach us how to better serve the customer. So I'm not going to spend too much time, but I'm just going to wrap this up with the most important thing that I learned. And we wanted to thank Kevin Brown for sharing with us how to be heroes, how to take the customer experience or walking into an organization and going above and beyond just because that's who we are. It's in our DNA. And I wanted to thank them for teaching us how to build trust within an organization and giving us actionable insight and to change the market. And that was my experience at the Channel Company. We learned how to take all aspects of the technology lifecycle, whether you were a consultant, whether you were a value-added reseller, a VAR, and whether you were an MSP, and we were able to combine it. Because if there is a $5 seat being sold into a technology, if there is a $5 a seat technology solution being sold into a business, we want in. That's a mindset that we learned. And once again, here at M&N Communication, we wanted to sign off and we wanted to thank all of the major brands. We wanted to thank the Channel Company for the experience that we have. And thank you for giving us an opportunity to learn.